world. This is DC, and we're back. And I'm with my beautiful, amazing co-host, Tomease.
And we are shaking up the algorithm.
Let me tell y'all something. We're going to get real spicy, real juicy, real
yes.
Today. We're going to talk about love, which should be the basis of everything we do, right? Business,
we
personal,
need more of it.
Family, everything revolves around love. So that means everything revolves around God, because God is love, right? So we're going to talk about that.
Correct.
We're going to be transparent. We're going to ask each other some juicy questions.
Not juicy.
You may want to take notes. This is going to be the grown folk part of the conversation. So we're going to do that today. We're going to entertain y'all. We're going to inspire y'all. We're going to give y'all some tidbits. We're going to give y'all some gems. We're going to do all that today. What else we going to do today?
Well, we're going to do what we always do. We're going to enjoy the conversation. We're going to enjoy each other's answers and responses and try not to embarrass each other at the same time.
Right. I know, right? You look very nice in your other Shaking Up the Algorithm shirt. I really like that.
Yes, And again, this is sponsored by God's Ink Apparel. This is the other Shaking Up the Algorithms logoed shirt. So I definitely wanted to highlight my co-host and his creative art. A t-shirt design.
I think we may have to do a vote. You know what I'm saying? This one over that one. Should we do both? Should we interact?
We definitely
we have to get our people involved. Because they are the listeners. They are the reason why we're here. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So why not get them involved? You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna do that. So where we gonna start it today? I'm gonna just dive with both feet in like a breech delivery on this thing today. Yeah.
I'm a bit nervous. But go ahead.
So today we're going to talk about love. We see so many things on the internet and social media about love and why men do this and why women do that and this and the third. I think it boils down to, because, I am a person that believes in the bottom line. Like, what is the bottom line? Like, what is the basis for all of this? And, God created us to be servants of one another. I think, I say this in a poem, and I said, woman is the best sequel to man ever created. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You were made for us to be helpmates, to help, to push, to inspire. Now, for all the Bible told us, the woman in the Bible is synonymous with wisdom. So that means you're supposed to give us wisdom. Now, I'm not a prideful man enough to feel that I can't receive wisdom from somebody I'm involved with. You know what I'm saying? I was raised by a very strong grandmother who's also a Capricorn like myself. All Capricorn people, Capricorn Nation. But anyway, I was raised by a strong woman that knew her role and, that stayed in her lane. You know what I'm saying? She cooked, she cleaned, she made sure the house was taken care of, she made sure the bills were managed, all that. My grandfather, he made sure the lawn was cut, the car was okay. You ain't coming out to a car with snow on it, and a woman ain't starting the car's gonna be warm before she get out. I'm created from that bubble. So anything outside of that, I'd have to adjust and kind of deal with a lot of things I didn't want to deal with. But it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I know that Dolores Shaw, my grandfather, that motto has been grandfathered long time ago. It just is what it is. So with that being said,
not grandfather.
So with that being said, the bottom line, what I feel that love is just serving one another, treating each other how you want to be treated. But the world has said, okay, well, if you ain't making enough and you ain't doing enough, if I can't marry a millionaire, if he ain't taking care of me, the thing I hear about the most is women saying, well, I need to be taken care of. I need you to do this. I need you to do this. And then the other one said, well, what are you bringing to the table? What are you bringing to the table? Nobody is saying serving each other. If you take the what's in it for me attitude out, and bring the reason why you're meant to be together in the first place, you wouldn't have all of this back and forth. But the reason why you have this back and forth is everybody becomes an automatic opportunist. I need to jump on the dude who's making the bag. I need you to spend a bag on me because I'm pretty, my coochie good, my this, my that. You need to pay for all of this right here. You know what I'm saying? So what is your take on that, ma'am?
That was a mouthful today. That was a mouthful. That was a mouthful.
And it was.
And in a lot of instances, again, there are women out here that are looking for a come up.
Right.
In so many ways. You know what I mean? They're looking for someone to basically handle all of the responsibility.
Right.
And you just maintain your looks and what gravitated him to
Correct.
you physically.
Right.
You know, there's still a lot more that encompasses a relationship or an interaction or a partnership, because that's basically what it is. It's a partnership.
Right.
You know, you don't go in any type of bank and, you know, put your money in there knowing that they're not going to work with you to make sure that your money grows.
Oh, that's deep. I like how you said
so
that.
that's considered a partnership. Same thing in a relationship.
Right.
You're not going to be with someone and expect them to invest everything into you and you don't give them a return.
Right. Facts.
Yo, your return is not your good looks, ladies, because your good looks will feed. You know, we get them age lines.
Oh my God.
You know, I'm trying to preserve mine. You know, at this point, you know, but you know what I'm saying. Gravity will come. You know what I'm saying, and it will take place in your body.
Correct.
So everything that's up today may be down tomorrow. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, so you know, it's important to really look at the components of what is going to keep you two together. Right. You know what I mean? And it far exceeds anything physical.
Right.
You know, you got to be with people that are going to help build you.
Right.
They're going to help grow you.
Right.
That are going to support you and encourage you. You know, and you do the same. You know what I mean? It's not a one-sided thing. But go ahead.
Right.
I'm going to let you run with that.
So I'm going to go deep, and I'm kind of going to switch gears just a little bit and come back to this. I had a conversation with a friend of mine about wife and husband and how it is depicted in the Bible. And this is what I've learned that was very interesting. And the Bible says when a man findeth a wife, he finds good things and finds favor in the Lord. But in order, it didn't say when a husband finds a wife. So a man is not even a husband until he finds the wife. And I heard a pastor say, it's amazing how a wife don't have to have a husband to be a wife, but a man has to be a husband in order for the wife for him to have a wife. So in other words, I can't be a husband without the woman.
Correct.
But you can be a wife without the man. Oh, that's deep.
Correct.
That's deep. So my thing is that the validation comes from me being who I am to you. As a man being a husband, because I can't be that without your validation and without your confirmation. That's nasty wisdom right there. So, but a wife, she can be a wife and she don't need nobody to validate that. So when women always say, well, I'm trying to be a wife and I'm trying to get a husband, you don't need that to be a wife.
Right.
You just still need to operate in how a wife is. So I thought that was really deep. I had this conversation last night and this morning, and I think what the overall depiction of that meant to me was, it's like women always feel that they need to be validated or they need to be chosen to be a wife. When you're a wife, whether you're with a man or not, it's us that needs to have the validation of being a husband, because we can't be a husband without you. Period. That's deep. So I think in the world we live in, we need to validate each other. We need to serve each other. We need to build each other up. You have social media where everybody is ripping each other apart. Oh, a man ain't this, or a man ain't that, or a man ain't this, and a man does this, and a man does that. Or a woman ain't this, and a woman ain't that, and a woman is this, a woman's a whore, a woman's a thought, a woman's a this, the man's a fuck nigga, he's a this and that. And I'm cussing because I can, because I still love the Lord. And the man's a fuck nigga, and this is that, and this and the third, and this and the third. And everybody is ripping each other apart. and wondering
Right.
why they can't find a happy medium in that.
Right.
What do you think is the happy medium in?
Well, before I even answer that, it's something that you said along those lines where a woman operates as a wife even without a husband. And the first thing is, and that is true, because that's like basically saying you're a woman, but you got to wake up and decide if you're going to be a woman.
Mm.
No, you already know who you are and you operate in that. You already know that you are prepared and destined to be a wife to somebody. So why are you going to wait till the man comes? You're supposed to operate in that.
Correct.
You know? So that's why it's important to technically be a wife before you even become a official wife. You know what I mean? You have to operate. Okay. In order for that husband to even be attracted to you.
That's deep. That's deep. I like how you said that. Keep going.
All right. So, don't get me started, DC. Don't get me started, okay? But, let's ask your question one more time, because, that thought just ran with me. It just ran with me.
What is the happy medium between really finding who you really need to be with and, as far as you got people ripping each other apart instead of serving each other? What would be the happy medium to change the narrative of that to where everybody would have more focus in serving each other and uplifting each other? Like, what needs to happen in order for that to change?
Well, I mean, one downfall to all of this is social media. Social media has destroyed relationships at this point. We have given society too much power in our relationships, in who we are as individuals, and a lot of people are dictated by the likes and the dislikes and the views of other people. We definitely need to get back to shutting out the world and keeping, relationships sacred. People have lost the value of, having your interactions as a safe space. So, and that's where a lot of the confusion, distraction, all of that comes from, because you've got all these other people infiltrating what ain't supposed to be in there. You know what I'm saying? Don't do that. So anyway,
Okay.
See, and I'm gonna just throw this out there, ladies and gentlemen, I have, someone special in my life, but DC comes off sometimes, trying to be real mannish and things, and I'm just gonna put it out there. That ain't cool. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Okay, so
we know you look good. We know you look good. Okay. We know you got the whole GQ thing going on with the salt and pepper gray, and you got it.
You know what? I wasn't gonna do that, but see, since we're offering up tea, I have a few people, in the back room of all of this that has.
The back
that has inquired who the hell you are, and I said,
talk about.
I said she ain't no video vixen. She's my friend. So, but I will introduce you. But let me do a pre-approval interview. So I said, hey, do you know the Lord? 2 of them said yes. 1 of them said no. I'm saying, okay, deuces. Okay, now we got it down to 2. So I said, do you like long hair or short hair? Well, she got long hair. Well, the reason I'm asking because she changes it. So if you can't accept change, then it's going to be a problem. Okay, 1 out of the 2 stayed. So the other one was like, no, I like her long hair. She better not change that. She ain't even your woman yet. So, okay, so now we got it down to 1. we got it down to 1. The one said, okay, he wants to know how old you are. I said, you need to ask her. That's not polite to ask a woman how old she is. Number two, I
Mm-hmm.
said, he asked if she's single. I said, as far as I know, she is. I don't want to get in her
Mm-hmm.
business like that, but I think she is. He also said, what kind of man she like? Did she like older men, younger man? When was her last relationship? I'm like, look here, man, I'm
Mm-hmm.
not your liaison. You know what I'm saying? They get ready to come out with a dating app eventually. You can probably get on that and figure that out. But you asked me too many damn questions. You need to
Mm-hmm.
DM her. It goes down in the DM, how they say. You need to DM her, sir. Let me give you your information. So, to
Oh
all
my
the
gosh.
eligible onlookers who's looking at you, with video vixen energy and vibes, what would you say to these men who's trying to shoot their shot? Oh, it got quiet.
Well,
Oh, it got real quiet. We got real quiet
well.
today.
Okay, you got me.
Well,
You got me there. Okay, even the loudest of mouths know how to humble themselves. We know how to humble ourselves. But for me, when I was, I guess you could say, considered eligible, because I've taken myself off of that shelf as of this point. But when I was eligible, it is a multitude of things that I look for. I feel like I've gone through a lot of different situations, baby daddies, unfortunately, y'all. I just got to keep it honest. You know what I mean? I don't have the best track record, you know what I mean, when it comes to men. But one thing I can say that as I've grown as a woman, my priorities have changed. My desires have changed. And I think the more that you evolve as an individual, the more you begin to gravitate to people that are like you, opposed to people that are not like you. Now I have a certain, I don't want to say criteria, you know what I mean? Because everybody ain't perfect.
Right.
That's one thing you got to understand. There are no perfect people out there.
Correct.
You can meet a man that's got everything. You know what I mean? He look good, smell good, dress good, nice income, nice home, nice vehicle, although that's material. Right. And, he provides, he's supportive, he's all of this, but it could be the nigga got nasty nails.
Wait, so it's nasty.
You know what
so
I'm saying?
wait,
I'm just
is nasty nails and crusty feet a deal breaker?
I'm not gonna say it's a deal breaker. It's a deal breaker if you don't want to correct it. Okay, that's a deal breaker. Because nigga, I cannot eat no food around you with your nails nasty. Or you can't lay in the bed with me scratching up my legs. You got to get that. Then you got to get it corrected. You got to fix that.
And you know what? They can go to your website with your product.
Exactly. Get you some of my turmeric scrub, get some of the dead skin off their feet. You know what I'm saying? I can help you in that area. But
right.
But my thing is, everyone has some sort of flaw.
Right.
Or some sort of, thing that may not be to your liking.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But you got to learn which battles to fight and which ones to let go of.
Right.
You know what I mean? And some things ain't worth the extra energy to fight over. Now, hey, you might have a man with some crusty feet. Okay, so what do you do as a woman? You go and get his feet done.
Come on now.
You do it.
Come on, feet
you
done.
do it.
Come on.
You get down, get your basin.
Right.
You know what I mean? And you cater to your
You get a mother's board.
And you do his feet. Right. You know what I'm saying? You know, and you make it sound like, you know what, baby, I just want to make sure that your feet are taken care of, you know, so that they can be soft and smooth. Because it's really not for his benefit, it's for yours. You know, because you're tired of having all the scratches on your legs at night. You know what I mean? Where the nigga is just running up against you and you got little sores and stuff. So take initiative.
Okay, well I got another question. Here's another question. Do you believe in sex before marriage or after? Because here's the thing. You know, it's a crapshoot. You know, in the Bible,
really is.
In the Bible, you know, I ain't supposed to touch you until, you know,
true.
You know, we walk down that aisle. But God forbid
that is true.
You walk down that aisle and you explore Oil Can Al or whoever he is, and he's trash, and you like, what the hell did I do? So, what would you do in a case like this, man?
You really putting me on.
I really am. You're on the hot seat today.
Okay. So, again, you know, I've been on the outside of that situation, and now I'm kind of on the inside, right? Okay. Right. So, you know, when you're on the outside, when you're in the outskirts, you ain't doing things godly. Okay? You getting it in, you bumping and grinding, you know, you got the 12 play going, you know, you fainting and all that good stuff. You know what I'm saying? You doing all that. You know what I mean? You know, but when you get on the inside, you know, you kind of look at things a little different.
Okay.
Now, I mean, personally, I'm sorry, I got to test the waters.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I got to test the waters. You know, I've heard some analogies where men have used like, you know, you get a car and, you know, it's almost like you got to test the engine.
Come on now. Come on, engine.
You got to do the test drive.
Come on, engine test.
You know what I'm saying? You got to have a test drive first, you know what I mean, to see if it's a good fit for you. You know, it might not rev up fast enough for you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or it might cut a little bit. Right. You know what I'm saying? So you got to make sure it's a right fit, you know. Right. So I get that. But even with that, you have to be selective. That's like buying a vehicle. You don't just jump in the first one because it looked good.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You don't try to test drive the first one that you see. Right. You make an opportunity to check the lot.
Right.
You know what I mean? Look around. You know, see.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm being silly. Silly. But it's true. It's true. You, as a woman, you have to be selective because we have a gift. You know, we got what we sitting on. It's a gift, y'all. You know what I mean? We can't just be giving out our little goodies and our cookies to everybody. You know what I'm saying? Everybody don't deserve the cookies. You know, the milk and cookies. You know, so
right.
We gotta be careful. You know what I mean?
This is true.
It's only, like I said, it takes a special individual to even get to that level where you are comfortable enough to be able to give of your body, because you're not just giving, you know, it's not a fair exchange just sexually. It's a spiritual thing. Right. You know what I mean? And you have to make sure that that's the right person that you connect with spiritually.
True.
Before
I agree.
You know what I mean? Before you even think of taking that step.
I agree.
To, you know, give of your body. I
definitely agree in connections because, you know, to me, that is what enhances everything else. You got to be connected. It's more than just, it's deeper than just the attraction, because you may be attracted to somebody who you really don't like. And you know what I'm saying? I got to like you. I got to like being around you. I got to like you after the act is over. I got to like all that. So let me throw something else at you and keep you on the hot seat. In the Bible, it said the bedroom is undefiled. So that means, is it something that you wouldn't do when you're supposed to do it in the bedroom?
Right.
Is it something that you wouldn't do? Ooh, the hot seat. Yes.
Something that
Oh, boy, you really thinking, boy. Look at that. Eyes got big and stuff. That's what I'm talking about.
Because, see, I ain't trying to put all my, excuse my language, y'all.
I mean, you ain't got to be specific. You can say, yeah. There are certain things. You can say, yes, there are certain things I wouldn't do, but a lot I would or whatever. You can do it like that if you want to.
there's a lot of
when you stuttering, okay.
There's a lot of things. There's a lot of things that I've done.
Oh, you've done.
Okay.
All right.
There's a lot of things I've done.
Okay.
Right. There's a lot of things I like to do too.
Like
right?
done and like to do. Okay.
But I have I've learned that there are some things that you have to be selective in doing.
Okay.
Everybody don't deserve the best of you. You know, and again, that's why I said it's so important that you know when you gonna get at 100,
right?
You gonna get at all that 1,000%
right.
of you. It better be with the right individual.
Well, I mean,
because otherwise you're gonna sit back and you're gonna be like, "Damn, I wasted my time."
I feel that
you know what I'm saying.
You just said you said everybody don't deserve the best of you. So if that's the case, why even waste your time with that?
Because, the thing of it is, when you initially meet someone or you initially get to know somebody, you still are going through a learning process. You know what I mean? You're learning that individual is learning you. You're not going to just come off the bat and be like, bam, this is who I am. Now, I'm only speaking from a personal perspective. I got to grow with you. You know what I'm saying? If you see all the goodness of me, then you're going to take me for granted because you don't think she here. She gonna always be here. No, I'm not.
I like that.
You know what I'm saying? I might not always be here.
Very good point.
You know what I mean? So I have to make sure that you grow with me and I grow with you. Because eventually I'm gonna give you my best. I'm gonna give you my all. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna give it all to you. I'm gonna lay it on you. You know what I'm saying? But in the meantime, you know what I mean? It's a growing process. You gotta get to know that person.
Now I'm gonna let the pendulum swing to me a little bit because I'm gonna say what I feel is ideal for a woman for me.
Yeah, because you done had me.
I know, right? I know.
So I apologize.
I apologize for any inconveniences that may have caused your life. I apologize for any inconveniences. But anyway, I think the ideal woman for me is a woman that's willing to build, that's willing to build and on something that we can do together. I feel that everything that God has created is meant to produce something. I feel that even if we can't produce babies, we got to produce something together.
Correct.
That's gonna benefit both of us in the long run, and it's gonna make us happier because we're working together. We're building up each other's strengths, building up each other's weaknesses to become strengths. That's what it should be.
Correct.
But here's the thing: where a lot of women mess up. When you come to me and tell me what I'm going to do for you or kind of reprimand that, because my thing is, if I like you, if a man like you, you ain't got to do that. He's going to do it by default if he likes you. If he ain't, stop trying to pull him in and he's trying to resist. Just take that L and say he's not for you. And it may be not even an L because if he'd have chose you because you pulling, he probably could have made life for you reckless. So it could have been a W. It ain't an L, it's a W. I feel that even when you lose, you win because you learn. It's just that simple. Right. But my thing is that a woman for me, and I'm being specific, is a woman that likes to build, a woman that has some intelligence, a woman that knows more than I know. I like to learn. Right. I think that's sexy. I think intelligence should be the new sexy. When you're an idiot, that makes me look at you differently. I'm sorry. We're going to keep it 100. So my thing is that what is an idiot? An idiot is when you are oblivious to a lot of things and you do something that you shouldn't do and you still do it. That makes you a dummy. Correct. Ignorance is doing something that you weren't aware of. That's wrong. There's a difference between stupidity and ignorance. So my thing is that ignorance is going to build up. Ignorance is a pride awareness because you feel like, okay, look, I know I wasn't right. I figured it out. I made a mistake. Now I'm going to correct it. So pride is no longer your stronghold. So, I feel like, I feel that you need to learn from one another. I think, It's just like oxygen, inhaling, exhaling. You have to build off of each other. It's like a give and take. It ain't no, once you do a what's in it for me attitude, then you have a list of like, okay, what I feel like I deserve that I need to get from you. And if you're going to do that, that's fine. But let's talk about that before we move forward. Okay, this is what I want. This is what I don't want. If you want to do it that way, whatever works for you, that's fine. You wonder why people meet each other in 2 weeks and be with each other forever. Then you wonder why people been with each other for 5 years and after the first year they divorce it. It's all about that understanding, and people don't believe in commitment no more. That's not a word that's not used a lot. Commitment. You got that right. Commitment is when it's ugly, it's still beautiful because you with each other to get through the ugly.
That's right.
That's what commitment reprimands. So my thing is, you have to understand the ramifications of that. As far as the woman I like a woman that is sure of herself, who's confident, and that means you ain't got to do anything extra to be confident. Just love yourself.
Correct.
Love yourself, so I ain't got to work double time to love what you don't love about yourself. I just said something wrong. So my thing is, I want to love and don't have to do and have to overcompensate for what you don't love.
Right.
So what about you? I'm gonna hit this pendulum right back at you. What do you feel about that, man?
Well, I feel like, hopefully that woman will come to you soon, okay? Hopefully she will. She will. Because I'm sure she's out there.
Absolutely.
I'm sure she might be watching the show.
Oh, yeah.
She's out there.
Check out the algorithms.
She out there looking. She out there. She out there. She looking.
Right.
She looking. Right. But, as far as I'm concerned, I guess what it is that I need and desire in this phase of my life is I need a man that I can lead. Well, not I can lead, but he can lead and I can follow.
Mm-hmm.
I need someone in my life that's going to give me good direction. Give me direction that is for my best interest. That's the key. I've had a lot of experience with individuals that always, expect because you're the woman, you're supposed to lead, but you lead me down a dark path. You know what I mean? You're leading me on a road to destruction. So I need to make sure that whomever is in front is going to put me in a space or take me to a destination safely. Where it's going to be for both of our benefits and not just his. I also am, again, I'm looking for someone that I can build with. I have different goals and different dreams and desires. And I consider myself a manifester. I have the ability, and I think everybody does to a certain extent. We have the ability to speak life and death through our tongues. So whatever it is that we say, we can actually have if we believe that we can, right? So being the manifester that I am, I have the ability to speak certain things to bring it to life. I feel like there are certain instances, and that can work to your benefit or to your detriment. So you got to be careful what you say. Right. But for me, I feel like now I need a partner that can bring me ideas or, share ideas with me so that we can manifest them together. You know what I mean? It's one, I feel like I bring a certain component and now I'm looking for someone else to give me that missing piece. I'm good without you. Don't get me wrong. I'm going to still win without you. But I feel like with two, with that pairing, it, it brings about a certain connection and a certain unity. That, you can build even better. It's going to be even stronger. You know what I mean? again, like I said, as individuals, we have the ability to succeed in any area of our lives alone.
Correct.
But wouldn't it be so much better if you had someone with you to do it? You know what I mean? Because now where you may fall short, this person can pick up the slack. Or where you may be stronger, you can help build this one up. It's like a seesaw of love. It's a seesaw of connection, you know, that's so important.
Right.
So yeah, that's what I need. That's what I need.
Okay, I'm going to segue into this other conversation, and I'm not going to keep our listeners too long because we done gave them a lot of gems already. But I'm going to give. Here's how I'm going to end it strong. Here's a put on your seatbelt one right here. I coined a phrase on a T-shirt the guy gave me a year or two ago called "Healing Out Loud," and a lot of people are so embarrassed and so not knowing what the importance of healing out loud is, to the point where they will hide all their transgressions. They won't speak about it. You know what I'm saying? If a guy touched you, he ain't gonna talk about it. You know, he don't want to be considered gay. He don't want to be considered whatever the circumstance may be. Whatever type of molestation or whatever you've been through in life, it don't matter. Whatever it is. You know, healing requires you to deal with it. That's why they have so many groups that talk about what has happened to them. Because the only way you can heal is if you expose it, right? So, with that being said, with all the men that you've dealt with that have took you through the ringer, all the expectations you've had, all the failures, all the expectations you've had, and everything, the potential you've had for men to be, and they failed you. What is the biggest lesson you've learned out of those lessons? I know, right? Oh, I know. This is shaking up the algorithm. Oh, it got real. Oh, yeah.
You know, it's a few things, but what I've had to tell myself constantly over and over, in a nutshell, it was necessary. It was necessary.
And what allows you to be that humble enough to accept that truth?
Because ultimately, you have to look at the fact that anything worth having, anything that you truly desire to have, you're going to have to go through some things in order to get it. God puts us all in a position where we have to have our muscles tested. You don't just get out there and run a 400 meter without some type of practice. You know, so you got to practice all the time, which means you might hurt yourself in practice, which means you might fall in practice, which means, you know, you might be extremely tired while you're running, you know what I mean? Or anything, you know what I mean? But you got to do the practice in order to get to the real race. You know what I mean? And I feel like everything that I've been through has been the practice. I needed to go through those things. I needed to prepare myself for the race. Because when the race comes, when the real race comes, I gotta be able to have enough wind in me to finish. You know. And I feel like
so let me ask you a question. You have daughters.
And
you know what I'm saying, and they have dated or have men or whatever circumstance may be. What is the biggest advice that you've given your daughters on men? And you have a son. What is the biggest advice you've given your son about women?
The biggest advice I've given my daughters is don't fall in love with potential. You know, that, you know, that's been their mama downfall. You know, that's been my downfall. Because even potential will fail. You know what I mean? People can have the best intentions, the best outlook and things of that nature, but if they don't have enough fortitude to be able to maneuver through certain things and to still be able to push, even that potential is going to be worthless too. So yeah, don't fall in love with potential.
And what about your
Now,
son?
my son, though, number one, like that's my baby. You know what I'm saying? But one thing I have to tell him is, as a young man, it is imperative that you love who you are and not look for a woman to validate you. As men, even the men that I've had in my life, it's almost like, in a sense, they operate out of ego. You know what I'm saying? But when they really meet someone that, is good to them, it's almost like now you need her to tell you if you're going to be good at this. You need her to tell you that you can do this. You need her. But no, don't be needy. You know what I'm saying? Have a certain level of confidence within yourself, an inner knowing that you're going to be the best you and you're going to be the best for her. You know what I mean? But when you slacking in that area, and that's just not for men. That I have to tell my daughters that too. But when you slacken who you are, you're susceptible to any bullshit that comes your way.
Right.
Anybody can pull you to and fro.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you got to be able to stand firm in who you are. You know what I mean? Love who you are, flaws and all. I look in the mirror some days and it be a whole lot of shit I want to change. Right. I know it's not going to be immediate though. You know what I mean? There's no type of change that is done automatically. I can't just snap my fingers and things are going to be different. Right. You know what I mean? It requires work. It requires me to make some daily changes, to make some daily strides in order to reach those changes that I want. Right. So it's the same difference. Right. You know what I'm saying? If you looking at yourself and you're single and you like, look, I really want to have, a great relationship, or I want this, because as women, we fantasize a lot. Right. I don't know if y'all men do. But, women, we fantasize a lot.
Absolutely.
We've been doing that shit since we was kids. We sitting back and we playing house. Right. That used to be the game when we was kids. We played house and we was the mama and we was doing this and doing that. And now that we're older,
right?
It's almost like, not to say you got to revert back to that childhood mentality, but you have to have a playful attitude because life will throw you some curveballs. Right. And you got to be able to laugh even in the face of fear.
This is true. Okay. One more quick question that I forgot to ask that I'm going to ask. In having a son, what is the biggest lesson you've learned about men from having a son? Oh, yeah.
Well, you know what? The biggest lesson I've learned is y'all need us more than you admit.
Elaborate.
I've dated a lot of men that have had issues with their mothers, that have dealt with abandonment. They've dealt with the pain of not having what you would consider like a motherly figure in their lives. So it's almost like now that they are adult men, you would feel like, or you see them and you see this statuesque, masculine man that's just all of this goodness, right? But really you dealing with a little boy that just miss his mama. And so what does he do? He gravitates to you. All the goodness that you're showing him, all the little extra love and extra care. You now have become that stand-in model for him.
But you know what? Let me throw this in there. But this is what destroys it. Because knowing that men are scared to become vulnerable because you have a lot of women that see that
Correct.
as a weakness. Oh man,
Correct.
I ain't your mama. You should have my. You a grown ass man. And that destroys that vulnerability of needing that, of needing
True.
that from you. So, he
True.
runs, or he has this even harder, posterior about himself. And, he
True.
feels like that can make him bulletproof to vulnerability. And he don't want to, because he don't want to be vulnerable no more because you done ruined
Correct.
it. Because he feel
Correct.
like if you saying that and he was vulnerable to you, everybody else will be the same way. So
Right.
that's a very, 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 we go talk about we go have another show
We
about
do.
that. We
do need to
expand
talk about that. We do need to talk
now,
about that a little more in depth.
Right. Now, I'm going to say a little bit on my end, and then we're going to close it out. What I want to say about this from my end, because I have a daughter, and the one thing I've learned about having a daughter is that be a man of your word. Like, have some integrity. The one thing,
Correct.
and I'm going to have a shirt that says integrity matters. Don't try to steal it. I already got it done. So, yeah. But anyway, integrity is big when it comes to daughters. Like, don't say you go do something and don't do it. A daughter needs that strength. A daughter already has the vulnerability from her mom because her mom is there. But the strength of a man, that's why children need both parents. It creates that balance. And once you have one that don't want to show up, the child can be potentially unbalanced. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
So you got to be real careful on that aspect of it. But as far as my daughter's concerned, she is definitely a daddy's girl. She gravitates to me. We be talking on the phone for hours. We laugh. And sometimes, I've learned as a man that just let them talk. Sometimes they don't even want that. Daddy, I don't want nothing. I just want to talk. And I just listen and laugh. And I enjoy the fact that she just want to talk. But a lot of men don't want to hear all that shit. We don't want to hear all that. But the beauty in having a daughter is the fact that they can come to you and they feel that comfortable to be that transparent. That I find beauty in transparency to me. So that's my take on that. But to bring the show to a close on my end, because we gave y'all some fly nuggets with this show.
We have, y'all. This has been fun. This is fun.
Right. To bring this show to a beautiful end, always, my phrase that pays is focus on the haves and not the have-nots. In other words, be thankful for what you have. That you woke up, that you can breathe, that you have a roof over your head, food to go and, to nourish your body, a car to drive, a job to go to. Just be thankful for the little things. Don't focus on the have-nots and what you want, because God is gearing you up and preparing you to have the have-nots. You ain't got that yet because you're not ready for that. It's eventually going to come, but you got to prepare for what you don't have. But always find glory and comfort in what you have. How about you, Tomease?
Well, my favorite phrase is love is optional and grace is free. So when you learn to love yourself unconditionally, God's grace is definitely going to follow you.
Yes. So with that being said, we love y'all. We're going to talk about, we're going to have an amazing show in a few days. So we're going to be a lot more consistent. Y'all going to see us a lot more. We have a lot more nuggets to show y'all. We love y'all.
Yes.
Peace and blessing. Love y'all.
Tune in for our next video. Make sure to like and subscribe. And don't forget to turn on post notifications so you won't miss out on any future episodes.